Hello everyone, Cheesy Stuff here, and today I'm going to be rating which Shrek characters I think are circumcised, because of course you don't have proof of any of these characters actually being circumcised. So, yeah, I promised I'd do this a while back without really thinking of the implications, so let's get right into it. So we'll start with Shrek. Now, Shrek, of course, is an ogre, and he was born out by the bogs and all that stuff. So, since he was born naturally, I don't think he's circumcised. I think he was just born in the natural. I don't think that would change becoming a human. Fiona's missing a piece, and that'll go for all the females of the franchise. Donkey and a lot of the other animals, they usually don't get circumcised. So I'm putting Donkey also not circumcised, along with Puss. Yeah, Puss, Fat Puss, Fart Puss, all there. Kitty's missing a piece. Prito. It kind of goes to be said. Okay, now we have Fergus and Farkle. Now, we haven't actually met their grown-up forms yet, but we do know them as babies, and I just think they're similar to Shrek, where they weren't circumcised. The Dronkies, I also think so. Gingy, he's in a female, but he's also missing a piece. And so is Pinocchio. I mean, it's possible Geppetto built one on, but for now, he wouldn't have the anatomy of... I'm not getting into that. So the wolf and the pigs, I don't think they are. Along with the mice. The mirror is missing a piece. Now, Harold's interesting. You see, Harold was born as a frog. So, if we take that into account, him turning human, I don't think he would magically become circumcised. And then, Arthur. So here's where it gets interesting. I'm a little conflicted on him, because I did my research, and in Europe, in the 1300s and 1400s, which is when the Shrek series takes place, because I made a little bit of a timeline and figured that out. I was on film theory for it, in case you haven't heard. I know, I'm pretty cool. Anyway, so it was more common for Jewish people to get circumcised around that time, but it wasn't very common for the others in Europe and stuff. So it did still happen, but Arthur, he isn't royalty or anything. He doesn't come from he does come from high class, but he was just stashed away at some school where no one liked him, and maybe the reason no one liked him is because he wasn't circumcised. So I don't think he's circumcised. Now Lord Farquaad, I don't like thinking about this, but he has a lot of compensating, and I think it would make sense if he also wasn't circumcised. Along with Prince Charming, we don't know if Fairy Godmother birthed him or if she just poofed him out of thin air, but I don't think he was. Along with Rumple, he's a little weird like that. I would put Humpty in missing a piece, but I don't know. I think he has one. Because Kitty comments in the First Puss in Boots movie that Humpty isn't wearing any underwear. Why would he need underwear unless he has one? Yeah, I don't think he was circumcised. It probably hurt because he's made of egg pieces. Jack, no. Goldie, bears, they're animals, so I don't think they are. Jack Horner, I don't... Okay, Death is interesting. It's hard to answer the question, is Death himself circumcised? So, I did some thinking, and I think, given the question, he'd probably say something like, I find the very idea of circumcision absurd. He's immortal and stuff, and he'd probably get really mad about the idea of circumcision, because that's not how people were meant to be. Even though it's common practice these days, people are born not circumcised. So I think he'd be disgusted at the very idea of circumcision. Monsieur Hood, no. Thelonious, no. Captain of the Guards, probably not. I don't think anyone in Duloc is. Okay, we have the Stone Dragon's missing a piece. Muffin Man. Muffin Man's a maybe. I need to add a maybe category. He's our first maybe. Ooh, I clicked the wrong thing. He might be. I'm not sure on him. He's the Muffin Man. Mongo didn't live long enough. Puppy Dog, no. Kyle, definitely not. Little Red, no. Simon, probably not. Captain Hook. I mean, it's possible he did it himself with that hook, so I'm fine with maybe. Cyclops, I don't think so. Evil Queen's missing a piece, so do the trees. Mabel, Doris, Smart Ladies. Merlin, even if he did lose his, he probably grew it back, so no. More Ladies. Lancelot, his father's last name might be Dulac, which sounds a lot like Duloc, so that leads me to believe that he is not circumcised. These two are like at the top of not circumcised. They're like the kings of not being circumcised. Missing a piece. Santa, ooh, that's the question. Is Santa circumcised? I don't think so. I don't think he's old, so. Pied Piper, probably not. Witches, missing a piece. Fifi, missing a piece. Butterpants, I'm gonna say no for now. The Ocat. Ocat doesn't really have a gender, but I'm just gonna say not circumcised. Ethical Bug. Bugs don't really have that part. And that leads us to the village doctor. And, seeing as he's a doctor, I think that he would probably... I mean, he's experimental with leeches and all that stuff, so it's possible that he did it to himself to see how it felt, He's kind of like that sometimes. He's a little funky. So, yeah, that's my Shrek circumcision list of who I think is canonically circumcised and not. I thought more people would be circumcised, but this is just a theory. And if you disagree, feel free to comment and maybe I'll change my opinions. But for now, this is what I think. And if I missed anyone, which I know there's a lot of characters, I wanted to stick to the main ones. So if you have a more obscure one that you'd like to know about, feel free to comment and I can list my opinions on them. But yeah, that's my Shrek circumcision list. Thanks for watching, and I like when you hit the thing. Yeah.